do every single Tuesday. We've done this every single Tuesday, YouTube, from the beginning of the football season till now, Instagram, where we've helped athletes across the country find out what they need to know to have in place on the field, with their huddle film, socially on their social network, Instagram, and everything that they need to have in place, the timelines, so that you guys can get to the bag, so you guys can get to the scholarship offer, or like I said, the preferred walk-on opportunity, whatever it is you're looking for. So tonight is going to be no different. We're going hard tonight because this is the last show. I've got Instagram going on right here. Chris, what's going on? You're with Coach Terrence Wood. We're talking college football recruiting, and then we've got our YouTube crew right here that always holds me down every single Tuesday. And if you want to see what we're showing on YouTube, you guys, then click the link in our bio, click Recruiting Live Show. You guys can see what we're talking about on YouTube. But let's get into it, you guys. Let's get into tonight's presentation because there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on in the football industry. It's enough to make your head spin around. You guys probably are either in school or you guys have parents that are at their job. But my coaching staff is doing this 24/7. We're deep in this football industry and our heads are spinning. So I know you guys' heads are spinning. So let's just uncover some things centered around what's going on with recruiting, because recruiting has changed, you guys, since when I got recruited in the late 90s from Archbishop Reardon High School in California to go to the University of Colorado. A lot has changed. A lot has changed just in the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, a lot has changed from last year. So let's uncover some things. If you guys do have some questions, if you do have some comments, some concerns, that's why I'm here. That's why Coach Wood is here, because this is your time, Instagram. This is your time, YouTube. So let's get into it. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Terrence Wood. Very, very excited to be with you guys tonight. For me, this is a labor of love. For me, this is my ministry. Believe me, it's not because I'm making millions. It's because I love giving back. I love sharing, and my team does as well. True practitioner of what I talk about. So before I was on this call, Instagram, with you, before I was on this webinar with you guys, YouTube, I was talking to athletes. After I get off of this, I'll probably be talking to athletes or coaches. So true practitioner, and my team is as well. I played football at the University of Colorado, played in the Arena Football League, and was fortunate enough to play in Canada. The gentleman that you see that looks handsome with the Hall of Fame bust, Instagram, you guys can't see the slides that I'm showing YouTube. So if you guys do want to rock with us on YouTube, click the link in our bio. You guys can see the slides that we're showing on YouTube. Red Napper, I see you, baby. This is Coach Wood. You're riding with Before You Go Pro. So that's my grandfather holding that Hall of Fame bust. This is a family business for me. All of the men on my dad's side of the family play football. So from a very young age, I was on a football field running around. And yes, my grandfather is a Pro Football Hall of Famer. He got inducted in 1989. His name is Willie Wood. When I saw him, Instagram, put that gold blazer on his shoulders, I knew what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. I was set, okay? So this is a very important time because you guys have dreams just like I had dreams. And I just want to move you a little bit closer to that, baby. So that's what this is all about. We're going to uncover exactly who this is for, but many of you guys should be able to get valuable nuggets out of what we talk about tonight. This is for football players, but if you're from another sport, you happen to catch this too. You can get valuable nuggets just off of tonight. Big, I see you, baby. That is another one of our parents, Before You Go Pro parents. Hopefully all is well with you, KK. Everybody's well. So let's get after it, you guys. With Before You Go Pro, we are a student-athlete recruiting mentoring service. So we do help athletes across the country get to magnificent universities across the country. And it is a true labor of love for me and my team. Instagram, if you want to see the slides we're showing YouTube, go to the link in our bio. Everybody that you guys see on the screen, you guys, is someone that we've touched. It's someone that we've helped get to the school that they went to, whether they're still there or whether they have already graduated. Right here is you need relationships. You need relationships in football, you guys. Right here is one of our prime relationships. This is Coach Alonzo Carter. Coach Carter checks us out on Instagram. What's going on, Coach Carter? He's at San Jose State in this picture, talking to some of the athletes that we had on a college tour at San Jose State. I talk to Coach Carter at least a couple of times a month, especially during this period of time when recruiting is heavy, okay? Now he is no longer at San Jose State, you guys. He is at the University of Arizona, Instagram. So that's why you guys got to be mindful of the relationships, the seeds that you plant in this football entertainment industry, especially if you want to play at the highest level, because somebody may be somewhere today. It may be a school that is a little bit lower on the totem pole today, but they may be a head coach, an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator at a Power 5 school another day. Especially, you guys got to be mindful of this today because of the transfer portal. Everybody's moving around, so it's highly likely, you guys, that you're not just going to come across these coaches once. You're not just going to come across them once. So Coach Carter is a dear friend of the program of Before You Go Pro, and we talk about recruits all the time, you guys, all the time. Now, this is what I know. This is what I know, Instagram. Now, if you're joining us on Instagram, we're live on YouTube too. Plus, there's slides that are playing on YouTube. So if you want a little bit more juice, if you want to be able to comment, then go to YouTube so you guys can check out the comment there. I see Devin, what's going on? That is one of our Before You Go Pro family fathers, and his son is a baller, playing JC ball and about to do some big time things at a university very soon. But you guys, right here is what I know. Just like you see these young men on the screen working hard, just like you see these young men right now doing wind sprints and competing, I know you guys are working your tail off, especially Instagram if you're tuning into this. YouTube, if you're tuning into this, then I know that going to college and playing football is heavy on your mind. I know it's at the top of your mind, okay? So what you have to understand is there is a lot of competition. When I was coming out of California, I was in a bubble. I had no idea really how much competition was out there. And with the transfer portal, it totally changes the game, you guys. So here's a perfect example. I want to give you a perfect example. Instagram, you're rocking with Coach Wood, and Before You Go Pro, this is the recruiting live show. And we're also on YouTube live too. So please come check us out on YouTube as well. But here's what I know. There are a lot of superstars. There are a lot of superstars Instagram, a lot of superstars YouTube that are right now looking for a home. And I want to have this talk to you, just me and you, to remind you just because you're looking for a home right now does not mean you are not legit. Instagram, it does not mean you aren't legit. This is a perfect example right here of a young man that as soon as I saw him play and cut on the huddle film, I knew he was a big time player. This is Elijah Cooks, one of our very own Before You Go Pro athletes. Elijah, if you see this, love you, man. And right there you see on the left, 3 touchdowns in the game. It says Prep Football Roundup. Atascadero rolls slow, which stands for San Luis Obispo, behind Elijah Cooks, 3 touchdowns. And then on the right, what do you see? Instagram, you can't see this, but on the right, what do you see? You see him slamming one home and dunking it on the basketball court, right? So obviously, this young man was a very, very talented athlete in high school. But guess what, YouTube? No offers, no Division I offers until very, very late in the process. Very late in the process. And he was a dog from day one. Okay. So many of you guys are playmakers. Many of you guys are superstars. Many of you guys have been working your tails off and have great grades. But for whatever reason in this season in your life, you don't have it quite yet. You don't have it quite yet. So that's what we want to get to. And once again, this is a perfect example. One of our very own, Elijah Cooks. Guess what? He was thinking about going to this school. He was thinking about going to this school. This is Azusa Pacific. I can guarantee that 99% of you guys watching this right now, whether you are a parent or an athlete, have never heard of Azusa Pacific. One time he called me from a family road trip, and Azusa Pacific, which is in California, got a hold of him, and they said, Elijah, we love your film. We know you're on the road back from a family trip. Can you stop by the university and just check it out? Just check it out, Instagram. And he went with this family and he just checked it out. And if he sees this, he knows I'm not lying. He just checked it out and actually loved it. What's not to love about a beautiful university YouTube in LA? What's not to love? Even though you guys have never heard of it. So he checks it out. He falls in love with it. Little old Azusa Pacific, which at the time, past tense, was Austin. I see you. You're rocking with Coach Wood. KK, you know I love you, baby. Hopefully all is well. Your dad's on the other side with us on YouTube. So click the link in our bio if you want to come on YouTube and check out the show. So, little school in Azusa Pacific, you guys, past tense. They were a Division II program. Division II program, okay? And they got him to come on campus. And after his trip on campus, he actually loved it. Elijah loved it. So he calls me up. He says, Coach Wood, I'm thinking about committing to Division II Azusa Pacific. And I said, Elijah, hold on a little bit, man. We're talking to a bunch of schools. I know it's late. All we need is one, and yours is coming. And thank God, nothing against Azusa Pacific, but thank God he listened. Thank God he trusted it. Thank God he believed in his talent. Because lo and behold, a little while later, something bigger came. And guess what, you guys? Azusa Pacific no longer exists, Instagram. Azusa Pacific, the university exists. The football program doesn't. So he would have been going to a school that after 2 years of being there, and there wasn't a transfer portal in his day, after 2 years of being there, he would have been looking for another school because the school no longer existed, the football program. But guess what? He ended up going here. He ended up going to Nevada, Reno. And once again, you guys, all you need is one. Even though it may be late, and you're trying to go to a D1 school, D2 school, D3 school, an NAI school. What's going on, John? We're talking college football recruiting. You're with Coach Wood. Before you go pro, recruiting live show. If you want to see the slides that we're showing you behind you, click on the link in bio. So, you guys, he ends up at Nevada, Reno. Only had one. YouTube. Only had one. Okay? But it ended up being the only one he needed. Because this is the rest of the story right here. This is where he's currently at now. He's a Jacksonville Jaguar. He is currently in the NFL. He went from only having one school and a bunch of D2s and D3s coming after him to getting that one school late and making the most of it. And this was the journey. This was the journey, which you guys see right now on the screen. He started at Atascadero, little coastal town in California, high school, ends up at Nevada, Reno. His coach goes to San Jose State, follows the coach there through the transfer portal, top receiver for San Jose State, and now he's with the Jacksonville Jaguars, you guys. And this is me with Elijah and our great friend, RJ Jones, right there. But guess what? When he was here, he was still a dog. But nobody believed in him. Or very few were willing to put the money on the table. And eventually Nevada did. So all we want to talk about tonight, you guys, is you finding your one. All we want to talk about tonight, Instagram, is you finding your one scholarship offer or preferred walk-on opportunity that unlocks your future, that unlocks your next chapter, that unlocks where you want to go. Okay. So we've been doing this all fall, you guys. But tonight we got to get into it because some of you guys are still looking, and I'm gonna give you my heart tonight, okay? So this is one of my superstars, Sadite. What's going in? Thank you for checking in with us on the Recruiting Live Show. Mom and Dad as well. I love it. Family affair before you go pro is a family affair for sure. And then I've got the great Jimmy Rucker comes on with our locker room show every Thursday, but he's got a young one coming up too, so he likes to get some recruiting information. What's going on, Jimmy? He says, does Azusa Pacific still have football? There you go, Jimmy. So like I said, no football at Azusa Pacific. This is where Elijah was about to go. Some of you guys are right in that season right now that Elijah was in, where you're a dog, but you ain't, that the phone might not be ringing, or the one that you want hasn't called yet. You might be right there. I've been doing this for years. So this allows me, when we work with our athletes, to not be emotional about it, to look at the strategy within the strategy and get after it and kind of be business minded about it. And that's why we want to have this call tonight, you guys, so that we can ask questions, so that we can vent, so that we can learn, so we can minimize how much stress we have. Hammer, I see you. What's going on? This is Coach Wood. We're talking college football recruiting. If you want to see what we're showing, go to the link in our bio, and you guys can check out the Recruiting Live Show on YouTube. So that is Elijah's story, you guys, and many of you guys are in the same boat. So once again, who is this for? This is for the young man that has put in the work. This is for the young man, because I know some of you guys have put in the work. You guys got to keep in mind, I'm a former player myself. There was times I put in the work and didn't get what I felt like I deserved back. So this is for you. This is for you guys that have put in the work and feel like you haven't got what you deserve back. And that's probably a large percentage of you in today's time, okay? So three things, you guys, that we're going to cover tonight. And I feel sorry for the players that are missing this, that are unsigned and uncommitted, okay? I really feel sorry for them. If it happens to be one of your teammates, if it happens to be your child, please extend this video to them. Please let them know that they need to check this information out. Anyone in the 2024 class, Instagram, YouTube, anybody in the 2024 class that is a dog and unsigned and uncommitted, you got to get them to this content, okay? Vickles, I see you. What's going on, boss? You got to get them to this content, all right? So with that being said, these are the three things that we're going to cover tonight. These are the three. I could talk to you guys all night, but these are the three main things. CS, baby, you're walking with Coach Wood and the Recruiting Live Show. We got YouTube behind you, but we're talking recruiting. So if you want to get to the bag, got to pay attention. So these are the three things, YouTube, that we're going to cover tonight. We're going to cover the recruiting timeline. We're going to cover market value. Market value. A lot of you guys don't know your market value, and that comes actually in two different sides of the plate. Instagram, it comes on the recruiting side, and you better know your market value, YouTube, also when it comes to this new game of NIL, name, image, and likeness. A lot of you guys don't know your market value, so we're going to talk a little market value tonight. And then also the last thing is, what are my options? What are my options, Coach Wood? I'm a 2024 athlete, Instagram. It's late in the game, YouTube. What are my options, Coach Wood? So we're going to cover all three of these real quick tonight, baby. Recruiting timeline, your market value, your options. Jaden, that's one of my superstars out of Cali. Defensive back. What's going on, playmaker? You know what time it is. If you want to check out what we're showing on YouTube, go to the Recruiting Live Show link in our bio. You guys can check out what we're showing on YouTube. So YouTube, that's what we got. That's what we got tonight. Recruiting timeline, market value, and your options. I'm going to go through these three real quick, all right? I see some more people coming in. To Petty, love you, baby. Hopefully all is well. I know you're looking for an opportunity to get to the bag too, man, so I'm with you. Tonight's the last show. if you haven't been rocking with us, then you guys got to run these back. You got to go on YouTube and run these back. Please share them with your family and friends, your coaches. All right. The Elijah Cook story will become the normal. Yep. You got that right, Jimmy. You got to find your angle, man. You got to find your angle to get what you want. And it's not going to be 10 offers. It's going to be 1 or 2, unless you are a bona fide 4 or 5-star recruit. You got to find your angle. All right. But that's what we're talking about tonight. So I love that you guys are here. So those are the 3 things. Once again, recruiting timeline, market value, your options. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about huddle, Instagram, and video. I'm not going to talk about, your highlight film and how your plays are situated. Very, very real thing. Your huddle film is your resume, but we don't have time to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about Instagram. You can't see what I'm showing YouTube, but if you want to see what I'm showing YouTube, go to the link in our bio, click Recruiting Live Show, and you can see what I'm showing YouTube. CM, I see you, baby. You're rocking with Coach Wood. And before you go pro, I'm not going to talk about this. This is a young man trying to get his grades. He's in the classroom. I'm not going to talk about huddle. I'm not going to talk about grades. I'm figuring if you guys are here that you already know about that, or at least enough to get the ball rolling, okay? I'm going to talk about the things that we need to do to move the needle to get to the money, all right? So first up and foremost, timeline. Timeline. Let's take a deep breath. Let me take a sip of water before I get into timeline. CM, Jaden, I love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Let me take a sip of water before I get into timeline. Now, timeline has a lot of you guys like this. Where you're fearful. You're fearful right now if there's still options out there. Coach Wood, I want to play D2 ball. Coach Wood, I want to play D1 ball. Coach Wood, I want to play anywhere. Is there still time? I know we passed the regular period. I know we passed the early period. I'm in the 2024 class. I'm in high school, JC. Is there still time? I want to let you know, yes, there's still time, okay? That's why we had to have the call tonight. Now, yes, so many slots are done. So many schools are done. But there are a lot of schools, you guys, that still are looking for ballers and will continue to in the spring. Here's a perfect example. Instagram, you can't see what I'm showing YouTube, but if you want to see, click the link in our bio, Recruiting Live Show link. You can see what I'm showing YouTube. Here's a perfect example right here, because you guys know Coach Wood is going to bring you some receipts. I'm not just going to blow smoke. I'm going to show you that there's still time, okay? This is literally before I talked to you guys earlier today. Coach Ellis, you see my text. I show you guys live text. I share live video, audio calls. Right here, this was today. So on the left, you see Coach Ellis, Coach Kai Ellis, and he's saying, Terrence, that's me, Coach Wood, Coach Terrence Wood. He's saying, I wanted to know if you have any 2024 offensive linemen. So yes, you guys, our program is established enough to a point that schools call us. Schools call us too. And they also look at our database. All right. So if you need help, you might want to get with us at the last minute, at the bottom of the shot clock. All right. But this is Coach Ellis. Why would he reach out to us? He would reach out to us because we've sent athletes to Coach Ellis before. So he knows when he's looking for somebody late, Instagram, that he can trust us. He can trust us. You guys may have a coach. Your head coach may be somebody that a college coach trusts. All right. So you guys want to have relationships on your side. This is a perfect example. Late in the ball game right now, Coach Ellis is looking for what? An offensive lineman in the 2024 class. Coach Wood, what school is he looking for? At the bottom, you see the school he's looking for. So that's the University of Hawaii. That's an FBS Division I program. A lot of you guys would love to play for the University of Hawaii and go to school there. I know I would. So right there is a perfect example, you guys. There is reason to be a little nervous because, once again, you have passed an early signing period. You have passed a regular signing period, Instagram. But, Coach Wood, you asked me, Coach Wood, is there still opportunities? And right there, you're seeing that even Division I schools still looking, still looking. So if University of Hawaii is looking, believe me, there's other schools looking, especially as you go down the other ranks, Division II, Division III, NAIA. They're still looking, you guys. And there's Division I schools still looking too. How do I know this? Because we talked to them. I just showed you an example of a conversation today. So, timelines. We're talking timelines first, right? There's only two timelines, Instagram, that you need to be worried about. There's only two timelines, YouTube, that you need to be worried about as a prospect, as a potential scholarship or preferred walk-on recruit. There's only two timelines. Timelines are important, but there's only two that you need to worry about. And here's the two that you need to worry about right here. You need to worry about the NCAA timelines, and you need to worry about the school timelines. All we try to do before you go pro is keep it simple for you. As far as the NCAA timelines, you guys, you can find that at ncaa.org. So hopefully you visited this site before, because we visit a lot of websites and some of them are BS, you guys. Visit the ones that can get you to the money. This is one that can help you get to the money. ncaa.org, Instagram. If you look at ncaa.org, they will tell you what? They'll tell you the timelines, the NCAA timelines. And right here, a lot of you guys want to play Division I or Division II football. You would like that opportunity. Here are the timelines and deadlines for Division I and Division II kids in the 2024 class, whether you're coming out of high school or whether you're coming out of junior college. These are the deadlines. Instagram, if you're with us, thank you for joining us. This is Coach Wood. You're rocking with the Before You Go Pro channel and the Recruiting Live Show. Please click the link in our bio if you want to see everything that we're showing on YouTube, because there's more interaction on YouTube. All right. So these are the timelines, you guys. Right now, what's the date? The date is February 27th, right? February 27th is not one of these two dates. The date for Division I, the deadline to sign, and this is scholarship, is April 1st. The deadline to sign scholarship, Division II, is August 1st. Division III, NAI, is August 1st. So when we get back to the timelines that matter, number one timeline is that NCAA timeline. Right now, you guys are not close to the NCAA timelines. You guys still have time to go Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA. You're not close. Once again, Division I is April 1st. Division II, Division III, NAIA is August 1st, okay? Once again, get familiar with this website. Get familiar with this website. So what's the other timeline that's important? Because we're talking timelines first, right? The other timeline that you guys got to be mindful of is the school timeline. Instagram. The other timeline is the school timeline. So only two timelines that a potential college football recruit, YouTube, needs to be concerned with. One, NCAA timelines. Two, school timelines. What do you mean by school timelines, Coach? School timeline. School timeline could be when you have to do general admissions. They've got timelines, right, for general admissions. Now, I will let you know this. Some of those have already hit the deadline. Some of those have already hit the deadline, Instagram. But in my past history, which has been a long history dealing with recruiting, if they find somebody that they want, they'll make sure that admissions portal gets open, or they'll facilitate it through the football department that you get accepted, or that you at least have your test scores, if you have test scores, and your GPA, your transcripts evaluated. They'll have somebody do that. So don't worry about general admissions timelines. You want to pay attention to them, especially if you're looking at a PWO, a walk-on. But if a school gets a wind of you late that never evaluated you or knew you existed, and they look at you late and they really, really like you as a PWO or a scholarship kid, they won't care about the regular school admissions deadlines. They'll make it happen. Okay. So I want to make you aware of that. So when I say school timelines, once again, two timelines that a prospect needs to be mindful of. One, NCAA. Two, school. When I say school timelines, what I'm really talking about, you guys, are the coaches, the recruiters. A coach or a recruiter putting a timeline on that offer that he gives you. A coach or a recruiter. What's going on, Ty? You rocking with Before You Go Pro? We're talking college football recruiting, baby. Thank you for joining us. A coach or a recruiter, YouTube, saying, hey, we want you at this school. You can commit to this offer, but I need to know now, or I need to know in a week. That's a hard timeline. Sometimes they're bluffing, Instagram. Sometimes they're bluffing, Jay. Sometimes they're not, YouTube. And you need to have someone helping you evaluate that, especially if it's a school you really like. Okay? So, two timelines. You need to be mindful of NCAA timelines. If you're in the 2024 class, you still have time for the NCAA. You're not at the deadline. And then the second one is if a school is actually offering you a roster spot or a scholarship and they're putting you on their personal timelines. You want to be mindful of that. That's the only two timelines you guys need to worry about. Okay. So, and then once again, if it's a school, you want to get some consultation centered around that. Here's a perfect example, you guys. Perfect example. I love using the prom example. And this is good. Candy, I see you with Before You Go Pro. Coach Wood, we're talking college football recruiting. If you know somebody that is in the college football recruiting season, you're in the right spot. And then also, we're live on YouTube behind you. So you can go to the link in your bio if you want to join us live on YouTube. So YouTube, I love using the prom analogy. Because we get kids all the time that are like, Coach, I've got this D2 offer, or maybe I got this D1 offer, and I don't know if I should commit. I don't know if I should go to the school. I don't know what I should do. What do you think, Coach? And I usually give them this prom analogy. So right here, what do you guys see on the screen? This young man, he's at the prom with this young lady, and he looks happy, right? It looks like he's enjoying himself at the prom. But I want to paint a picture for you. Instagram. What if, when's the prom? The prom's usually in May, right? What if a young lady, and you need to be respectful whenever a young lady puts her heart on her sleeve and comes up to you bold and says, can I go with you to the prom? You want to be respectful of that young lady, just like you want to be respectful of a school that maybe you don't want to go to, that you don't want to attend, that you think is maybe a little bit beneath you. You want to be respectful, right? You guys should be, because what comes around goes around. So let's take the prom, you guys, to decide if you should commit. We're talking about if you should commit, Instagram, to that offer, that scholarship offer, that PWO. So let's take the prom, you guys. Young lady comes to you and ask you. Some of you guys are handsome. You got your muscles. You got it going on. You got good grades. They see you rocking it out on the football field. So you guys got some choices, right? Young lady comes to you maybe in January or maybe in February, Instagram. And she says, hey, I would love to go to the prom with you. But the prom isn't until May. The prom isn't the deadline. Once again, we're talking deadlines. We're talking timeline. I just gave you the NCAA deadline. The prom isn't until May. Now, I've seen some guys sign early period, regular period. I've seen some guys commit. This cat already had a girlfriend. Our quarterback's had his girlfriend since he was a freshman in high school. So he committed to go with her to the prom years ago. He was set going with her to the prom. And I seen some guys recently commit to some girls in January and February. This is the early period. This is the regular period that I'm talking about, Instagram. We're talking college football recruiting, fellas. Thank you for joining us. If you want to see the slides we're showing on YouTube behind you, click the link in our bio, Recruiting Live Show. We're live on YouTube. So the young lady asked me in January or February, right? That's like an offer. That's like an offer for a scholarship offer. That's like an offer for a PWO. But now we're getting closer. We're getting closer to the deadline. We're not at the deadline. We're not in May yet, but we're getting closer. So some people have already committed. Some people have signed. And for you guys, that's the early period. That's the regular period. But we're not at the deadline. We're not at the prom deadline, baby. So if you guys don't have what you want, guess what Coach Wood is telling you? Maybe you don't commit to the prom yet, Instagram. Maybe you trust that another date is coming and you don't commit to the prom just yet. Okay? You want to be nice. You want to be cordial. You might want to keep this person on the hook a little bit longer. You might want to keep this school on the hook a little bit longer. I'm thinking of players like Jordan Graham with particular schools that I'm not even going to mention. But you feel like a better date is coming. All you have to do is be mindful of what you really feel, and then also be mindful, is a timeline. Am I coming up against a timeline? And once again, you guys are not up against an NCAA timeline. So if you don't have the date you want for the prom yet, then you can keep looking. You can keep looking. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, okay? That's how I look at guys having offers and then guys wondering if they should commit or not. I ask them, do you have the date that you want? Do you have your date to the prom that you want? That's how we look at that, okay? So if you don't, then guess what? It is your prerogative to keep looking. Now, you may settle as you get closer to the date, the end date. As you get a week away from prom, you may say, okay, I am going with this person. But you don't have to. Now, what if that person gives you an ultimatum, Instagram? What if that person gives you an ultimatum, YouTube? And once again, I said, what are the two timelines you need to worry about? You also need to worry about a school's timeline. So that's that coach saying, hey, I need to know, Tommy. Or, hey, I need to know, Jawan. I need to know, Smithy. What are you coming to our school or not? We need to know. That's no different than a young lady asking you to a prom and saying, hey, are you coming with me or not? Are you coming with me or not? And at that time, when that young lady presses that young man and says, are you coming with me or not? That young man is going to be thinking about, this is one of my dear friends calling, who actually played in the NFL for 8 years. I got to call him back. But that young man is going to think, how far away am I from the prom? And do I really want to go with this person? And that's where you guys are at right now. You guys are not at the deadline. But one of these schools may come to you and say, do you want to come with me or not? Do you want to come to this school or not? And at that point in time, you guys need to know what you want to do. You always want to be nice and cordial, but you need to know what you want to do. And I'm going to help you with that a little bit. I'm going to help you with that. I'm not going to leave you hanging that decision. I'm going to give you some examples. So check this out. Let's say you've always wanted to go to the University of Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Right here, we got Notre Dame on the screen. Right here, the Golden Domers. You see the beautiful campus right here on the screen. If Notre Dame Instagram comes calling my way, if Notre Dame comes, then that's like me, and that's the school I've always wanted to go to. Then what? Of course, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to commit. I'm going to sign. I'm going to be on the next thing smoking to Notre Dame if that's where I really want to go. Just like the young man being asked to the prom by the young lady that he really wanted to ask to the prom. He ain't going to hesitate and put her on hold. He's going to be like, yes, I'm going with you. So if you guys don't have that type of reaction to the schools that may already be recruiting, now if your phone's not ringing, don't worry about this. This is just information for when your phone does ring. But if your phone is ringing and you do have offers, and maybe you think you're a D1 kid, but you got D2, D3 offers. Maybe you think you're a D2 kid, but you got D3 NAI offers. This is the scenario you need to keep in mind. Okay, where are my timelines at? And do I really want to go to this school? And am I willing to let them pass me by? Am I willing to let her take another day? Okay, so that's what you want to think about when you're in this position. So, only two timelines to worry about. And you guys know what those are now. Those are what you want to keep in mind. Now, if your phone's not ringing, then all you got to worry about is that top timeline. That top timeline, which is the NCAA timeline. And once again, you guys are not close. You guys are not close there. Okay. So the second thing that we wanted to talk about, was what? We wanted to talk about market value. Market value. What is my market value? The reason why I'm bringing up market value with you guys, Instagram, YouTube. And like I said, nowadays, market value is two-sided. Market value is recruiting, and market value is also NIL. But tonight, we're just talking recruiting. We're talking market value with recruiting. Okay. So when we talk market value is important, you guys, because market value is going to allow you to be a little bit more firm on whether or not you should sit or whether or not you should commit and sign. Knowing your market value is going to be a little bit more firm on that. Once again, what story did I bring up to you guys initially? I brought up the story of this gentleman, right? He had to sit to wear that sweater he's wearing right now in that picture. He had to sit. But the reason why he was able to sit was because he knew his market value. And we helped him realize his market value. So he was able to sit and not take the D2 offer because he knew his market value. I see some people coming in the chat. The great Coach Falls, who is one of our team members, amazing scout for us, and also talent evaluator, but also tremendously cares about the kids. He says, like and subscribe, but more importantly, share with your friends and teammate, no doubt. And then the great Tapetti is throwing up the flex, no doubt. We love you, Tapetti. But you guys, make sure you like and subscribe and run this back because I'm giving you guys some game for free. I'm giving you some game for free, Instagram, and this is it tonight. This is it, unless you're with us, unless you're with before you go pro. So, you guys, once again, what's my market value? A lot of you guys are used to hearing that, especially if we've got parents on the call tonight. A lot of you guys are used to hearing that when it pertains to housing and homes. But it's business. When we talk market value, it's people talking business, okay? And believe me, college football recruiting is a business. And if you don't know the business or if you don't know your market value, you can get fleeced. You can get your shirt pulled off your back, all right? Here's a perfect example. I'm going to give you guys examples of knowing market value. So check this out. Woman at Goodwill made $80,000 after purchasing something at Goodwill, Instagram. You guys can't see this, so click the link in our bio, go recruiting live show. You guys can see what we're showing YouTube live. But woman makes $80,000, you guys, after buying something. You see the second line there? Buying something for $3.99. She spent, I don't even know the ROI on that. She spent $4, you guys. And she made $80,000 after buying something at Goodwill. So check this out, all right? This was a fascinating story. This woman, Virginia horse trainer, Jessica Vincent, got a sizable Christmas bonus after paying $4 at Goodwill for a Voss. A Voss. I don't know if you say vase or Voss. She bought a Voss Instagram at Goodwill. But Goodwill was only selling that baby for $4.99. You know what that means, YouTube? You know what that means, Instagram? That means everybody listening to this, old or young, recorded or live, could have bought the same Voss that she bought because she only spent $4 on it. But she sold it for 80K because it was from a rare artist. She knew the value of the Voss. Goodwill did not know the value of the Voss. Goodwill did not know the value of the Voss, Instagram, so they sold it to her for $4. They lost out on $79,996 because they didn't know the value of the Voss. But guess what? That happens in recruiting. If Elijah would have went to Azusa Pacific, Elijah's in the NFL right now, you guys. If Elijah would have went to Azusa Pacific, he would have been giving them $80,000 for $4. All right. And obviously he's getting an education, he's getting a chance to play football, and who knows what Elijah would have done with that. He may have made it to the NFL anyway from the Division II school. But they were the ones that would have been getting the steal. Okay. So some of you guys are that boss, and you need to know your market value. You should very well may commit to that NAIA school or that D3 school or that D2 school because the market value is right, or maybe my strategy or my game plan is right. I'm going to go to this school and then go to a bigger school, but I know my market value. Even though I'm going to this school, I know my market value. Okay. So you guys got to know your market value. How do I know my market value, Coach Wood? You know your market value by getting an evaluation. We told Elijah he was that level. He was a Mountain West level wide receiver. Shady, I see you, baby. You're rocking with Coach Wood. We're talking college football recruiting, baby. If you want to see what we're showing YouTube, click the link in our bio. He knew his value because we told it to him. So if you guys need to get a film evaluation, all of our athletes get a film evaluation. Some of our athletes are in here right now. Sadike came in here. He knows what we think of him. So we just got to figure out our angle to get it. Okay. So, this lady right here, she cashed out. She cashed out because she knew the market value on the Voss. Do you know the market value of your football film, of your career? Do you know how good you are? Because how good you are might not be what you're getting offered right now. Okay. So here, let's play a little game. Instagram, if you want to join us on YouTube and get more interaction, be able to comment with us, ask questions, see some of the slides that we're showing on YouTube, then we're live on YouTube. Go to the link in our bio. You guys can join us there. So got a comment here. Let me see who this is. Big Jimmy's coming in. He said, when should parents start educating themselves about the business of college football recruiting? Great question, Jimmy. And I would say that you're safe, man, if you're starting in middle school. I would say when I was coming out, Jimmy, 8th grade, 9th grade, you're good. When I was coming out, 8th grade, 9th grade, you're good. Me and my father literally picked a few high schools my 8th grade year, Instagram, and we went to games. We went to games whenever I could fit it in. I was playing Little League football, and of course I had school, but we went to high school games and we evaluated what was going on. Of course, we also looked at who was getting offers in our area. Because usually if a school is producing already, then they've got a system. And all you got to do is go jump in that system, whether it's a high school or junior college. And usually it typically works out good. You never want it. It's never foolproof, but usually you end up in a decent spot. So I would say in today's day and age, Jimmy, Instagram, the question that we got on YouTube is, when is the right age for parents to start realizing the business side of college football recruiting? And I would say today, you guys, it's junior high. If you've got a kid who's really serious, some of these kids, like I knew when I was a youngin', I knew when I was 4 or 5 that I wanted to play pro ball one day. So if you got a kid like that Instagram, if you got a kid like that YouTube, then you might as well just start getting early, get going early. So, sixth grade, seventh grade, I would start really picking up my education as a parent, really if I'm in football or basketball, and I got a high level, a kid with some potential, I would start learning. I start learning about this business because this industry, and Coach Foss knows this, he hears me say it all the time. This industry is no different than your kid trying to get into Hollywood or your kid trying to get into the music industry. As a parent, how soon should you learn about that? Pretty early, because there's parents learning about it early and there's kids getting into it early. So it's the same thing with football industry. You better learn about it early. And then with NIL, man, I mean, come on, man. With NIL, there's a kid today, quarterback of Ole Miss Instagram, that's got an NIL deal for a private jet service. So now he can take private jets to go see his family, get them to the game, go on vacation, do whatever. This is in college. There's kids that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars in college. If your kid is a freshman, if some of you guys are athletes, that are listening to this, you could be in high school or junior college. Some of you guys are literally a year, 2 years, 3 years away from money, real money. So you better learn about it because you're going to miss the money if you don't know about it. So great question right there, Jimmy. But I want to take you guys through a little exercise. We're talking market value, right? Market value. So check this out. This is Zayden Walker. Zayden Walker is a 6'3", 220-pound linebacker out of Georgia. Okay, great size linebacker out of Georgia. Class of what? Class of 2025, right? Okay. Now, let me paint a scenario for you right now. So I gave you Zayden Walker. He's in Georgia. Good size linebacker. You guys can't see the slides on Instagram, so click on the link in our bio. You guys can check us out on Instagram. Good size linebacker, class of 2025. Now, he's in Georgia. So let me paint a picture for you. Let's say I was to tell you that Kennesaw State, which is a Division I program, FCS program now in Georgia, in his backyard, offered him a full ride, offered Zayden a full ride, Instagram. In your opinion, he should consider that, right? Now, he's not nowhere close to the deadlines as far as his signing because he's in the class of 2025. So should he take it? Should he take the offer? The answer to that would be no. The answer to that would be no because Zayden, is actually the number 7 linebacker in the entire country, or number 7 player in the entire country. He's the number 1 linebacker. Okay. He's got offers from all over. So Kennesaw State isn't even recruiting him because they figured out that his market value is out past what they can bid. It's out past what they can afford for the home. He probably knows his market value. So even if Kennesaw State did call him up tomorrow and said, Zayden, we want you, but you got to tell us today if you're coming or not, he would tell them no because he knows his market value. He knows his market value because of the amount of offers he has. He knows his market value because he knows he's the number 1 linebacker in the country if he tunes in to 24/7 Sports. Market value. Do you guys know your market value? Some of you guys are sitting on school offers right now, PWOs and scholarships, and you're not necessarily committing because you don't know your market value, or you have already committed. Well, you got some athletes even that have already committed to some places. And we're like, we think you could have got a little more if you waited a little bit. So market value. Do you know your market value? All right. Now, the last thing that we're going to get into tonight, you guys, that we're talking about is what? is options. Options. We're late in the recruiting game. The great Andy Peak, what's going on? That is a former teammate of mine from the University of Colorado, actual dual threat, playing fullback and linebacker in Colorado. What's going on, Pete? We're trying to get these kids to college, man. We're trying to game them up on the recruiting live show. So thank you for joining us, brother. And we're going to cut down on Instagram here shortly. So if you're with us on Instagram and you want to see what we're showing on YouTube, then click the link in our bio, Recruiting Live Show. You can see what we're showing everybody on YouTube. So the last portion of the show, you guys, we're talking options, right? We're talking options because at the end of the day, Coach Wood, I feel like it's getting later. I hear you. I know I got time now because the timelines are later, but I've seen some of my teammates sign. I see that kid that I dogged from the opponent team sign, but I'm getting a little nervous, Coach. So what are my options? What are my options? First and foremost, you need to have a firm evaluation. Once again, that evaluation, you guys, is going to give you your what? It's going to give you your market value. Every home, before it goes on sale, gets evaluated to determine, the comps get looked at to determine what the market value of that home is, what the price should be when we put it on the market. Same thing for you guys as athletes. So get that film evaluation. Get that film evaluation, Instagram, so you know what your market value is, okay? Because just like a home, if I've got $1 million market home value and someone offers me 500K, I know what to do. I know to tell them to go somewhere with that offer. Okay. Same thing for you guys as athletes. You need to know your market value. Okay. Because sometimes you see homes go on the market and the owner really believes in the market value and they don't get that price. They don't get that offer. And what do? They take it off the market and then they bring it back at another time. Okay. So that's like someone maybe going to junior college because he's not going to go to that D3 or that NAIA. He really feels like he's a Division I player. So he may go to junior college. That's you taking it off the market for a second. And then I'm bringing it back on the market after that first season of junior college. I'm going to prep school, Instagram. I'm taking myself off the market for a second. Then after I get that prep school film, I'm putting it back on the market and seeing what I get and seeing if I get the price that I thought I should have got. All right. So I'm trying to give you guys how you need to be thinking. You guys are valuable. You guys are valuable. And I'm trying to, if you don't have the phone ringing, don't worry about this. But once the phone rings and that coach tries to press you and says you need to commit, then you got to know your value, okay? I got some people coming in the chat. Let's see what's going on. The great Rick De Jesus, more amateur athletes. Yes. And if anybody knows this, it's you, Rick. Rick is the father of the great Jacob De Jesus, superstar All-American wide receiver, punt returner at UNLV, who had to wait for his too, just like Elijah Cooks. And Jacob's doing phenomenal, and he's starting to get some looks for some money, and potentially got a big time pro career ahead of him too. I know the Raiders are looking at him because I talked to scouts. So he's telling you right there. What is Jacob's dad telling you, you guys? He's saying no more amateurs, no more amateurs. So parents, athletes, think business minded early. You guys are in the mix. You guys are in a big billion-dollar industry. Think business-minded. With Rick's son, Jacob, he has to think business-minded. He's in Las Vegas, baby, at UNLV. He could blow it all in one night. He could blow it all literally in one night. But he's not that type of young man. He's always thought business savvy. He's always had great relationships. He's always worked his tail off. He's always never gotten into social trouble off the field. So guess what? He's worth money. He's worth money. Okay. So keep that in mind, you guys. Keep that in mind. Thank you for joining us, Big Rick. So back to what I was saying. What are my options, Coach Wood? We're talking college football recruiting, Instagram. I see Tip. What's going on, Tip Manu? That is one of our running backs. He just signed with Minot State, and they got a superstar. He knew his value. Tip knew his value, plus he knew what was going on with running backs coming out of high school. So he jumped on that offer early. He jumped on that. He was a superstar, Tip. You're a superstar for jumping on that offer early because he knew. He knew he should take it. All right. So what are my options, Coach Wood? What are my options at this time? And we got about 5 more minutes. So if you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to put that into the chat right now. So these are your options. If you're in the class of 2024 Instagram and you are not watching with us on YouTube, click the link in our bio because you guys got to see this. We're talking options. What options are left for you unsigned, uncommitted athletes? So there's still time. There's still time to go D1. There's still time to go D2. There's still time to go D3. There's still time to go NAI. The higher you're trying to go, the harder it's going to be right now. So don't just say, oh, coach said I could go to USC. No, I didn't. USC's done. Penn State's done. Ohio State's done. But like you saw, Hawaii's looking for something very specific. They're looking for an offensive lineman. I can tell you right now, University of Arizona is looking for a D lineman and a cornerback. All right. So very little pockets of opportunity. The higher you are trying to go, the harder it's going to be. And it kind of skews to some of the older players a little bit more too. But D2, D3, NAI, tons of opportunity still available if you know how to find it. All right. So what are my options, Coach Wood? What are my options? Here are your options right now. If you're a high school, Ernest, I see you. What's going on? Munoz family. He's got a superstar in his home. You know what time it is. We're talking college ball recruiting on the Recruiting Live Show. Love you to death, Ernest. And, you know, we got some big things coming in the NIL space. So love you, brother. This is the options that you guys have. What you see on the screen right now is what you got, baby. If you're in the class of 2024 and you're unsigned, uncommitted. Number one, what can you do? It is your prerogative to keep hunting. It is your prerogative to keep hunting Instagram. Number two option for a 2024 athlete in high school, junior college, prep school, post-grad that has not signed and still wants an opportunity. You can sign, or you can commit. You can sign and commit. So maybe you already have some offers on the table. We have some athletes that have some offers on the table that they're deciphering on, and they can technically sign and commit. So number one option is keep hunting. Number two, sign and commit, Instagram. Number three option, and I put this under the line, you can go to junior college. You can go to junior college. Number four option is you can go to post-grad. You can go to prep school. So don't sit up here and tell me there's no options. Don't sit up here and be gloom and doom and I didn't go to Penn State, so my career is over. Don't give me that. If you're serious about playing some football, I just gave you 4 options right there that you guys can take to the bank. Those are the 4 options that we talk over our athletes with Instagram, that are not signed right now, that are uncommitted right now, YouTube, and that are in the class of 2024. They all know they still have time, but we work for them. So it's their job to tell us what they want to do. Do they want us to keep hunting? Are they going to commit or sign? Do they want to look at junior college options? Do they want to look at post-grad options? Okay, these are all options that I'm like, and they're beautiful options, actually. I've seen people win with all of them. All right. So let's take a quick look before we get out of here. Let's take a quick look. Junior college. Junior college is an option. Now, if you want to learn more about this option and you don't know about this option, whether you're with us before you go pro or not, feel free to reach out to us and learn about this option. You guys, there are some beautiful junior colleges out there. I live in the North Bay of California, about 50 minutes north of San Francisco. There's a junior college right by me called Santa Rosa Junior College that produces college talent all the time, and it is beautiful. It probably looks just as good or better than a lot of Division II schools. All right. So a lot of people just kind of kick junior college down the block. Don't kick it down the block. It might be something that you need to take a look at. These 2 gentlemen took a look at junior college, And it looks like it paid off for them. And Instagram, I know you can't see the slides, but we've got Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, and we've got the future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers on the screen right here. Both of these gentlemen went to junior college, and both of these gentlemen made it work and got fat bank accounts. And you may be looking at two Hall of Famers when it's all done, said and done. Who knows? But they went to junior college. So if it wasn't too good for them, shouldn't be too good for you. Here's something to keep in mind, though, if you want to look at the junior college route. For one, it's not just peaches and cream. Depending on the junior college you go to, you're going to have to put in a lot of work, Instagram, to get on the field. There are some junior colleges that can beat a lot of Division II schools. Playing with them 11 on 11. Believe me, I know it. So depending on the junior college you look at, you better be ready to strap it up, okay? Also, if you do want to look at the junior college option, we're just talking options tonight, Instagram. If you do want to talk about junior college, you should evaluate junior colleges no different than you do with universities. Don't just go to a junior college because it's a junior college right in your backyard, okay? Also, keep this in mind. We touch a lot of different athletes from across the country. If you're looking at junior college, the predominant junior college states are states like California, states like Texas, Instagram, states like Kansas. It's hard to find junior college ball outside of those states. And junior college ball can get expensive if you're coming from out of state. So keep that in mind as well. But we can definitely give you more information on that. And we've got kids that are playing junior college ball and going off to some big time universities. You got one of them that just came in here to the show, Sadike Green. Is going to go to a great university from a junior college. So you guys keep that in mind. Got some people coming into the chat. Devin, CSM, Edelman, yes, Edelman, Julian Edelman that played in the Super Bowl, and his son goes there. I see the great Chris Hornberger, that is Bubba's father, who is going to a great Division II school, South Dakota, and go rip it up there. I cannot wait to see him play. Is joining us. We got Ramel. I see you, Ramel, my superstar out of the East Coast. Great defensive back doing his thing. Love you, man, and glad that you're joining us. And then Jimmy saying, especially now, Coach Wood, junior college getting a lot of talent. Yep, so junior college might be an option. Once again, we're just laying out the options. Once again, here you go. Keep hunting. I'm talking to my 2024s. Talking to my 2024s, Instagram. These are your options as we speak. Keep hunting. Sign or commit to what you already got. Go to junior college or go to prep school, all right? And these two gentlemen went to junior college and made it work, all right? We're here to help you if you need some more information on that. Post-grad. This gentleman right here is a Hall of Famer, Eddie George, and he went to post-grad prep school. A lot of this is on the East Coast. So I talked about junior college being Kansas, Texas, Cali. Post-grad is a lot of East Coast. A lot of East Coast kids go to post-grad. And what that is almost like an extra year of high school. Now, there is a differentiator. If you go JC, you're going to probably lose at least 1 year of eligibility. Some of you guys, too, if you stay there 2 years and play 2 years. If you go to post-grad, you don't lose any eligibility. You go to post-grad, it's like an extra year of high school. It's like an extra senior year. And then if you go to a university out of post-grad, you don't lose any eligibility. So you still have 4 years on the field. Draco, see you, baby. We're talking college football recruiting. You're with Before Go Pro. If you want to see the slides we're showing on YouTube, then click the link in our bio. We're live on YouTube right now. So YouTube, that's a differentiator that you guys want to keep in mind. If I go JC, I'm losing at least a year of eligibility. If I go prep school, then I'll probably keep that year. It doesn't make it better or worse. You just need to know what's right for you. Okay. So once again, these are your 3 options. Keep hunting, sign or commit, junior college, or prep school. Okay, you guys? And at the end of the day, this is what we want. At the end of the day, we just want somebody to put your name on the board. Somebody to say, yes, we want you. You got a spot. You can come in here and compete. Okay. And this is the feeling. I love throwing up this slide because this is the greatest feeling. This is the greatest feeling. Now, no, not everybody's going to play in a stadium the size of Clemson University, but this is the greatest feeling. When you run out for that first college football game, I played at the University of Colorado, so I got to experience this, and I want you guys to experience this. When you run out for that very first college football game, Instagram, YouTube, and you run out, you know what you paid for it, you know the work you put in to get to that point in your life. There's no feeling like it. There's no feeling like it. And that's what this show is all about, is we want to get as many young men, myself, Coach Wood, Coach Jay, Coach Foss, we want to get as many young men as possible, Instagram, to feel that feeling that you guys see on the screen right there. That feeling of bliss that I'm going to run out from my very first college football game, and I have paid a whole hell of a lot to do it. That feeling is a feeling like no other. All right. So let's talk about if you guys do want to commit, if you do want to commit to a school, or you're still looking for an opportunity. Eric Padilla, I see you. You're with Coach Wood. We're talking college football recruiting. Thank you for joining us. We've got YouTube live behind you. So if you want to see what we're showing on YouTube, click the link in our bio. You guys can check us out on YouTube. So this is our last show, baby, our last recruiting live show. So we've talked about in the past low-hanging fruit. So you're still looking for a college football opportunity. You've got your film evaluation, which means you know which level you should start reaching out to college coaches and recruiters, because you don't want to be a Division III level player after your film evaluation and reach out to USC, reach out to UCLA, reach out to Florida State. You are wasting your time. You're wasting your time, and you don't have time to waste if you're in the class of 2024. So after that film evaluation, we know what? We know our market value, Instagram, YouTube. Then you can start reaching out to schools. But in the past, we've talked to you guys about if you need something quicker, sooner than later in the recruiting process, you need a scholarship sooner than later. It's getting late. You need a PWO, a preferred walk-on opportunity sooner than later, than to go after the low-hanging fruit. What's the low-hanging fruit? Those are the traditional terrible teams that struggle. Like you see here with Western Illinois, they went 0-11. We traditionally tell you to go after the low-hanging fruit to get your first offer. Now, low-hanging fruit doesn't mean I'm going after the worst Division I team and I don't have a Division I evaluation. No, don't do that. You need to go after the worst team at the level your evaluation is at. So if you have a D2 evaluation, a D3 evaluation, go after the worst teams at those levels. Now, in the past, we have told you guys to start with that. Start with going after the low-hanging fruit if you need some quick action, some quick recruiting action. Right now, some of the low-hanging fruit at whatever level you should be contacting at is going to be done. Is going to be done. Now, our team knows how to decipher through who's done and who's not, but you guys won't know how to do that as much as us because you don't have the time to research as much as us. So this is what I want you to prioritize. I'm giving you guys game. I'm giving you guys the game right now. I'm giving you literally what we do for our athletes for free. And then it's up to you guys to execute. But this is what you should prioritize, in my opinion, right now. And once again, I'm talking to 2024 athletes, football players, high school, junior college, prep school, ready to go off to a university who don't have what they want right now. And they want to wait. They want to wait. They feel like their market value can let them wait a little bit. This is what you should prioritize. Any past contacts, any schools that you've had any past contact with, you should prioritize. Any potential leverage. What I mean by potential leverage is the school is right down the street from me. I've got leverage there because I can get on campus. I can go to a spring practice. I can get in front of these people when maybe other kids that still need an offer can't get in front of them like I can. So I've been evaluated as a Division II athlete, strong Division II athlete. I still need an offer. There's a Division II school right down the street from me within an hour, and I can get on campus there. And please, if they're a bottom feeder where they're terrible, that's even better, you know. So that would be a form of leverage. Another form of leverage is if you're with us, because we have relationships. I just showed you earlier today a coach saying that Hawaii is looking for an offensive lineman. The only way you would know that is if you were with us. So leverage could be who you know, your coach in a high school, or you're with a recruiting program like ours. Leverage could be the fact that maybe your dad played at this school or your older brother, and he can quickly get in contact with some people. So, number one, you need to prioritize if you still need a scholarship opportunity or a preferred walk on opportunity and you're in the class of 2024, is any past contact that you've had with the coach that was sincere and looked like it was going somewhere, any potential leverage that you have. And then the last one you can do cold. You can do cold, and that is any late coaching changes. I would put all three of these before the low hanging fruit right now. I would put all three of these before the low hanging fruit right now. So I'm a 2024 athlete. I need something late. I'm going to anybody that's contacted me in the past, any camps that I went to and I hit it off with a coach. I'm contacted anybody where I have potential leverage. Once again, the school is right down the street from me. I can go watch them practice, go meet some coaches. And then I'm looking at schools that had a late coaching change. A late coaching change. If they had a late coaching change at any level of football, I can guarantee you that they're still going to be looking for talent and they're still going to be moving things around. Okay? So prioritize those three things. Please run this video back if you need to run this video back. Okay. Last but not least, if you do have any questions, comments, concerns, put those in the comment section right now. But that's how I would attack it. And that's how we're attacking it for our athletes. Okay. And then, of course, if you want us to take the steering wheel for you, then you can reach out to us at beforeyougopro.com. Just like it sounds, all one word. We work with athletes across the country. We are very limited and exclusive. This is the last week that we will be accepting 2024 athletes. So this is the very last week that we will be accepting new athletes. If you are already with us and you are unsigned and uncommitted, of course, we are going to continue to work with you until we get you where you want to be. So that is an opportunity. These are our coaches, Coach Foss, who is amazing. He's with us tonight, and Coach Jay. But if you do need help, go to beforeyougopro.com. We would love to help you. And once again, these are your four options. These are your four options, baby. Keep hunting, sign/commit, go to junior college, or go to prep school. But at the end of the day, get on somebody's board. At the end of the day, keep playing football. At the end of the day, keep moving to where you want to go. All right? You just saw the great Rick De Jesus come in here, and I told you that his son is an All-American. Young C's, I see you, superstar. We're with YouTube behind you. We're talking college football recruiting. Coach Wood here. Earlier, I told you guys that Coach Rick De Jesus was in here, and his son is an All-American right now, starting to get some money in his back pocket. You guys, full ride scholarship, and probably going to get a pro shot. You guys. He didn't have it coming out of high school. He didn't have it coming out of Manteca High School. He had to do what? He had to go to option number 3 on that list, which was junior college. He went to junior college, then he got the scholarship to UNLV. But why did he go to junior college, Instagram? Why did he go to junior college, YouTube? Because he knew what? He knew his market value. He knew his market value. All right? Do you know your market value? Do you know your market value? Because you better if you're gonna get on the business side of this thing. If I'm a rap artist I better know my market value. If I'm a singer, I better know my market value. Or guess what? Somebody's going to fleece me. Somebody's going to get over on me on that deal, on that first deal. All right. They're going to sell millions of records, millions of streams, and I'm going to get a penny. Okay. So I love you guys. Hopefully, this has brought value to you. It has brought value to me feeding into you guys over this past season, over this past year. Coach Foss, I love you. I know you're on the other side of this. But we giving you guys everything we could in the recruiting live show episodes. If you are new to this, if you are a parent, if you are a player, especially if you are in the class of 2024, then please maybe look back on some of the old episodes, run this episode back, because there's still time. There is still time to go to an amazing school. Okay. And if you need help, do not hesitate to reach out to us. www.beforeyougopro.com, and we will definitely see you guys at the top. All right. Does anybody have any last questions? Any last comments? Munoz, love you, buddy. Any last concerns before we go? Schools are giving offers still. You guys see a lot of them talking about the 2025s. Hey, we're searching for 2025s. We're looking for 2025s. And a lot of you guys have thrown in the towel and your head is low and you don't think there's nothing out there. I just showed you University of Hawaii is looking. I just told you Arizona's looking. So if Power 5 schools like that are looking, or Hawaii's not, FBS schools like that are looking, you can guarantee the smaller schools are looking too. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of tonight's live. Love you. Once again, Coach Terrence Wood signing off for Before You Go Pro and the rest of the Before You Go Pro family. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. That's your way to pat us on the back for the work we do serving you guys. And we've got an amazing locker room show Thursday. Every single Thursday, we have our locker room show, and we bring in people from the industry, coaches, players, business professionals who work with football players, the whole nine. So you guys join us on Thursday. I'm not going to tell you who the guest is, but we got a very, very special guest on Thursday who's going to give you some games, some free games. So love you guys. We will see you at the top. Have a good one. Bye-bye.